Sorry, sir.
That's all right, mate. As long as I didn't do it, I was trying to avoid checking up.
I tried letting off gas, but I couldn't fast enough. Got a lot of work for 16 laps.
You can do it. Stuck finishing under yellow.
Welcome to Air Bevan, serving up secret flights for him, slashing healthcare for you. By Bevan.
These dancing lights around me are produced by fireflies, creatures that have the strange ability.
Less than a century ago, humanity's cosmological picture underwent an unprecedented expansion when the astronomer Edwin Hubble revealed to the world that the Milky Way is far from the only galaxy in existence. It suddenly became apparent that the cosmic horizon spanned unimaginable distances in every direction, and in which our home galaxy, a spiral of some 200 billion stars, was just one in a sea of trillions. In this moment, humans opened their eyes to a new appreciation of the scales and immensities of the cosmos. The last century has been a time of incredible human discovery, and in which the field of cosmology has acquired new scientific status. Among other feats, scientists can now determine the elemental composition of distant stars and the trajectories of galaxies in relation to our own. They have gained insight into the birth and death of stars and planets, as well as the fabric of space and time. In this new understanding, our universe appears to us as never before, as a developing and evolving system of fantastic forces and energies, and dynamic displays of order and chaos. Perhaps most extraordinarily, small patches of this fabric have become conscious of themselves. We live in a universe that our ancestors never imagined, and it is now apparent that making sense of our new cosmological picture requires a departure from old ideas and metaphors, and the exploration of new frames on reality. Our journey begins with the observation that the way we talk about nature can ultimately be scaled to a grounding cosmic metaphor, which itself comes to serve as the lens through which we form our deepest questions about what we are and our place in the universe. The Western scientific lineage can be seen as having moved through two epoch-defining paradigms, as characterized by their grounding cosmic metaphor. These are the view of the universe as a great mind, moving into the view of the universe as a great machine. The long-standing cosmic metaphor of the universe as a great machine has become so closely associated with science that it is often viewed synonymously with it.
We all hear the
This
stories
is not
in
the
the
case,
news.
however,
The good guy
and
uses
today
a gun
the
to
great
protect his family
machine
from
metaphor
criminals, and
no longer serves
Peace,
to
my good
further
peep.
our understanding as it once did, and there are now telling signs that the modern mind is in the midst of a transition toward an organismic lens on reality, apprehended as an evolving, self-generating, and ultimately living process. Furthermore, this organismic paradigm may offer greater explanatory and predictive power, as well as a deeper, more meaningful understanding of our place in the universe. Of course, none of this is to say that the universe has not been historically compared to an organism, both in the Western lineage and in many other cultures. We'll return to this point later. To be clear, the purpose of our discussion is not to argue that the universe is an organism. The universe is the universe. The question of whether it is more like an organism than it is like a machine has only a subjective answer. The manner by which we apprehend the universe may reveal more about ourselves as we meet reality in our historical moment than it does about the character of the universe itself. This is, however, not to say that progress in our understanding cannot be acknowledged, and as we will explore, it is growingly apparent that we indeed appear to see further and with greater understanding through an organismic lens than through any other concept available to us. Mind and machine. Understanding the rise of the organismic paradigm requires that we understand some of the historical forces that have shaped the outlook of Western science, as well as their resulting influence on the modern mind.
Videos in this series, foundational information can be obtained in our 3 previous videos. Number 1, above the line, below the line. Number 2, the right to defend your rights. And number 3, declaring your status in an affidavit of status. It is important to view and comprehend these 3 previous videos to fully understand the foundation for writing a lawful notification letter. Rule number 1. If you don't declare your status as a living, breathing, sentient man or woman with creator-endowed rights, you will surely be treated as a straw man, creation of the state, and subject to every whim of every every bureaucrat who desires to rule over you. Rule number 2. If you know your rights were endowed upon you by your Creator, and you also know that your Creator is not the state or federal government, then you will be able to establish your superior position as the master over your public service.
When I was a young professional musician in New York, I had the interesting experience of being one of the guitarists in the original production of Don Quixote on Broadway. And I played all those songs and watched that show hundreds of times in the 2 or 3 years that I was working there. And today I find myself sitting with another Don Quixote, a gentleman who uses that as his public name in order to keep his privacy intact. He's been a crusader in the landscape of illegal windmills, the courts, and the way they actually terrorize the citizens who see them as ogres. He's a different kind of Don Quixote. He sees the windmills for what they are, and he understands their mechanisms, the gears, the forces that drive them, what they're really all about. And it's his purpose to give you the knowledge, the inner work.
Let's see if we can get Alan and see if he's on here.
Yeah, well, if he comes on, we'll add him. Okay, I'm recording right now, and we're making this video for those people that want to talk about the redemption process and or the straw man claim. Is it a scam by the government? I mean, you decide. So I got 2 people online right now, and if you guys can introduce yourselves if you want. If not, you can call yourselves Mr. John Doe or Jane Doe, whatever you decide.
I'm Mrs. Smith.
I'm here to correct a mistake by the clerk. Well, first of all, the court has made a mistake. Are you Wilfred Keith Thompson? No, that's not what I normally go by now. Can I see the information? That's a fictitious affidavit in terms of person legally speaking, sir. I've tried to clarify this a few times, but apparently the level of confidence. So your name is Keith Thompson? My name is Keith, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't have a last name, sir? I have a family name, clan name, but that's irrelevant today. So you are not Wilfred Keith Thompson? Okay, one more time on for the record, I am Keith. Nothing more. And sit down, sir. I'm looking for a Wilfred Keith Thompson. Please sit down, sir. Actually, please sit down, sir. Sorry. Can't do that. I served into the court this morning. Sir, I'm looking for a Wilfred Keith Thompson. You are not that this is person. Sit down, sir. Bailiff, please remove this gentleman from the courtroom. Thank you. That's the person you're looking for. Please, sir, that is the person. I'm trying to remedy things. Touch me and you will be charged. I'm a peace officer. You want to dishonor a court official?
The defendant's on the bailiff's desk.
Sir, are you here on behalf of Mr. Thompson? I said I was the administrator to that account. Are you here as agent for him? Could you guys please back up? Thanks. Are you here as agent for him? Not as agent, as administrator, much like you are administrator of this court. Sir, you're either him or you're here as his agent to speak on his behalf. Are you either of those? Yes, it's all. Pardon? Yeah, he's in common law jurisdiction, which I established as soon as I came in here this morning and reestablished again. The bailiff understood me. This other bailiff, wherever she went, she understood me as well. And this gentleman doesn't like talking. We're going to take a recess. Thank you.
Thank you. All rise.
How long?
How long, sir? I don't have all day, thank you. I have things to do.
We'll take the court.
Yeah, actually,
This court will recess
please note that the judge has abandoned the court. It's abandoned ship, and I, as the sovereign in this room, claim authority, case dismissed, with cause and prejudice. Have a nice day. See you later.
I'll start making my way down from
That's great.
In my bag.
Hold on, hold on, his bag.
His bag.
Hold on, his bag.
And my water, please. Oh, I need my birth certificate. I need, and can you grab the VC, please? Okay, that's the original.
Well,
This is Freeman 317, June 18, 2012, and I thought I had already done this video, but I reviewed, went through my videos, and I haven't been able to find it. So, it's a lot going on, and I have so much information and things we're doing down here that I tend to forget to bring some things that I feel is important and beneficial, may help others. So, that's what I'm doing today, is bringing to you what my remedy would be for handling a lot of court matters. I wouldn't have used this in the court about Bruno because their whole thing is fraud, so they get no credit. And basically the other things are fraud too, the tickets as well. But see, some of you don't, probably don't understand or want to fight that fight. So, in a lot of instances, I believe we could just turn the legal entity, legal person, legal fiction over to the court, which is the all capital name by way of the certificate of the birth certificate. And the reason I say that is because that's what this is all about. So if we're having problems with the court, now when they take your property, you have to go another way. Let's just put it like that, because you don't want to just submit it to the court, the birth certificate, handle this matter and leave it alone. You're trying to get your property back, and that's where I'm at.